What is up, guys? JayFerGaming here, and welcome back to my Lewis Hamilton challenge, and it's the Hungarian Grand Prix. I apologise if you can hear a bass in the background, because upstairs, the cocks upstairs are just blasting out horrendous music. But on to this, back to the challenge. The Mercedes on pole position, of course, and it's Nico Rosberg. And after the amazing race in Britain, one of the races of the season, if you haven't seen that, you've got to check that out. We've got high confidence at the moment. We won the last race. Don't want to spoil it for you, but we did. And obviously starting from the back, we're going to have to try and make our way through the field. And this is a very tricky track. That's the first time I've seen Perez in the top 10. But yeah, a very tricky track to overtake. So this could be a bit of a struggle. If you saw my Pastor Maldonado career, I had a horrendous setup around here. And had no speed at all. So I've mixed it up, changed it up from last time. And gone for a setup that's suited for the middle sector mainly, but we still got straight line speed, and we're going to need it to get past some of these guys, and the race is away. We've got an okay start, but it's a pretty long run to turn one, so we'll easily get the manners here, going up the inside of them. The rest of the pack's quite far ahead, so I don't think we'll make too many more. We've got a McLaren there, we're up the inside of Button, he's squeezing us. Side by side, there's a bit of contact between Verstappen and Button, which makes us lose momentum. Behind Button, we're boxed in. There's a McLaren on our inside. We're going to have to go the long way around here, and we're getting outfoxed by McLaren Hondas, for God's sake. What is going on? It's been a very tricky start, and I think it shows how difficult it is to overtake around here. I mean, Button's just chopped me off there. This could be an opportunity with our superior grip. Around the outside maybe? No, we got nothing there. And Button's been held up there, so we're going to go up the inside into the chicane. And we're going to move done with side by side in the chicane, so that's not going to work very well. You don't tend to see overtakes there too often in real life, but in the game, anything can happen. And this is where our superior grip and superior setup should help us out, especially against the McLaren. So here, we're getting much better grip. Going for a dive up the inside, no doubt. And finally, can we get 16th place? Button's gone wide, and finally, it's taken nearly a full lap of following Button round, but we've got 16th position. That is a huge relief, I must admit. I was on board with a few cars here, just how close things got. Button's swerving around, and I tried to get past Button, but yeah, nowhere to go, and his teammate had to go as well. You can see it is pretty crazy, and there's cars just everywhere at the start. And here is the horrible task of trying to get around Button. Side by side up there from a few cars further up. Some great racing further up the field. Maybe not for myself as I make desperate lunges to try and attack this McLaren Honda. I think this was my best chance. If I was more confident on the brakes, I probably could have got it done. But yeah, early on in the race, tyres went up to temperature. We went side by side and he got the better of me. Who would have thought? But some great camera angles here. Just me stalking like an absolute predator that I am, trying to get Jensen, who is costing me the race win here. Clearly he's a supporter of Nico, because Nico's absolutely miles ahead once again. He always seems to be on pole position and seems to just scamper off into the distance. So, on to lap 2. We're closing in on Verstappen, and I was talking about places to overtake. This is one of them. We thought about going around the outside, but we didn't have the grip. But on the exit, we get decent run. Verstappen's back end stepping out and late braking. That's what we needed to do to Button on the first lap. And we got that done up to 15th. And now chasing after the not the Renault actually, what was I saying? The Lotus, soon to be Renault, of Grosjean. And we'll get much better grip here. And hopefully get the move done. I'm feeling much better on the brakes now, much more confidence, getting into grips with the car. There we go, position gain. You see on the mini-map, Rosberg. Wait, what? Grosjean's coming back, I didn't expect that. What is this? This is a great battle. Fighting back. This is after the patch as well. I don't know if Codemasters have done anything to the AI cars. With this Lotus, it's frustrating me a lot here. That took a lot of effort to get 14th position off Grosjean there. But yeah, Rosberg's miles ahead, and further down the field, there's some interesting racing, I must admit. Well, that's Alonso with no front wing, because Grosjean was battling with NASA. It was a pretty decent battle, very aggressive as well for NASA. You don't see that from the AI too often, but they kind of lock together. You just see them here not take the turn. I think that's hilarious for some reason. I'm clearly really easily amused. And then Alonso just crashed into the back of them. This is on board with Verstappen. Yeah, Alonso had slow reactions, always a bit unlucky, but moving on a lap, and we're on to the back of Ericsson. Are we going for our traditional move? Yes, outbraking into the chicane, move done. Very nice indeed. And now we are going to try and close on to the back of the other Sauber. And we do close in. We do have the pace to absolutely blitz these cars. You just don't get the opportunity of this track. Apart from the DRS straight and the chicane, it's very tricky indeed. But I think we might get a move here actually, up the inside of NASA. Confidence on the brakes once again. Getting very close to the pit entry wall, which has called me out a few times over the years. But lap 5 now. We're not making the progress we have done in previous races, but it's not too bad considering the track. When we're looking at the mini-map, Rosberg's got a huge lead already. The Ferraris just don't seem to have the pace this season for some reason. But now we're getting close to Sainz. I think we're going to go for a bit of a lunge here. Yes, we do. On the grass, on that drainage stuff, which definitely affects your tyres. And yeah, we kind of barged Sainz out the way, and he took Ericsson out, and I don't think it's my fault. But here's the move once again. On board with Sainz. You just see me fly up the inside, kind of barge him a little bit. And then he just kind of turns in on Ericsson like he's not even there, just to try and get back on the racing line. Yeah, that's unlucky for Ericsson. Second Toro Rosso. Getting assaulted by the Toro Rossos. That's just super unlucky. But hey, he'll have to try and recover from that. And now trying to get into the top 10. Hülkenberg, who started again outperformed by Perez. I'm not sure if since the patch Perez's performance has been improved, but he got points recently for the first time, and looks like he has a chance of getting some more. Up the inside of Hülkenberg. This move is done, up into 10th and closing in on a serial top 10er at the moment, Pastor Maldonado. What a man, he must have just drawn so much confidence from season 1, which I recommend you check out because he was awesome. But yeah, we're trying to get the position, I think we're going to end up fighting the Ferraris at this rate. We've got no chance of first. And hopefully the Ferraris don't get out of reach as well. They're probably in second or third. Maldonado goes wide there. Up the inside. He outbrakes us, but he's not going around the outside there. And 9th place is secured. And now, we're probably going to start having to think about strategy. And getting past Perez as well. As we get a much better run out the final corner. DRS, we don't really have the best straight line speed set up, which is kind of getting proven here as Perez doesn't even have DRS and I'm not overtaken. So I go for lunge into turn 1, we're locking up, going wide. He's going to fight back as well. And he's shoving us off the track, which means we're on the curb, not getting the traction. And that's aggression right there from Perez. He's definitely got some confidence from his first points. I think it was a couple of races back now. But yeah, a couple of good performances from him. And he's feeling great about life. But we need to get past this Force India because he's currently slowing us down. But a move around the outside wouldn't look too bad, would it? Especially in the replay cameras. And that's what you're going to see. That was a great move, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I enjoyed that one, I must admit. And we're going to get a replay of that, just for you guys to orgasm over. We're closing in, and we go on the grass as well, which makes it a little bit more tricky. But around the outside, very nice indeed. If I was doing a compilation of awesome overtakes, I'll probably be near the top, but look out for one later on in this video, because it's the best overtake I've ever seen from the AI drivers, and it's definitely one to look forward to. Now closing in on Kvyat. This is a very easy overtake because he doesn't have any straight line speed. Up to 6th, because Bottas pitted very early for some reason. So that's why we're in the top 6, quite far behind Ricciardo. So we've got to put in a lot of work, and maybe a strategic gamble. I was thinking about it. It did depend where Rosberg came out, and I'm going to explain that in a second as we get into the pit stop phase. So, most of the other cars have pitted. Actually, all of them have. I'm the only one left out. The tyres weren't too bad even after 12 laps, but this did include Rosberg. I was considering a one stop at this point. Thinking of staying out till lap 14, 15 if we could, but we'd have to keep everyone behind us, which would be a very tricky task. And then try and do 20 laps on the primes, which could work around a track like this, but it would be very risky and it would depend on keeping cars behind us. If we don't keep Rosberg behind, then what's the point of trying it? We might as well try to stop and try and go for second. But Rosberg did close in on us, using DRS, trying to get the move done. This is important to keep him behind. I tried to brake later than him, but it really was a struggle. Also tried to force him out wide here, but Rosberg has superior traction, and for this strategy to work, we had to go for an audacious move. But we go for a huge lunge up the inside. We make contact with Rosberg. Where's he gone? There he is. That was very optimistic, to say the least. That was a pretty awful move. I really shouldn't have done that. We're lucky neither of us got damage. Yeah, we'll see it on board with Rosberg here. He just sees me flying into him sideways. He definitely, I definitely deserved the hand. And yeah, I'm going to a 2-stop now because the strategy seems a bit pointless. I think I can achieve second on a 2-stop, so I'm going to go on the primes. I was kind of considering possibly 1-stop and still, but realistically sticking with a 2. But I was putting the primes on just to see how long they would last. And we're going to come out the pits in a few seconds. We had to hold up a little bit there for Bottas coming in for his second stop. And we're coming out in 6th. Ricciardo's jumped Massa. So I'm not expecting to make up any positions in this stint. I'm not expecting there to be much action because of the gaps between the cars. Because obviously the AI are on the options. But here is that move I was talking about. The best move I've seen from an AI driver. It's Grosjean versus Massa all over again. What a move that is. Absolutely loved it. You just don't see the AI doing that kind of thing too often. You can see from this replay how close it really was. And then it's going to be on board with Kvyat. He gives Hülkenberg room. But Perez even, it was Perez. He's been on top form lately. He did go off the track, but that was from a nudge. So I'd say that's a valid move. And here ahead of me is the victim of that very similar move in real life where Grosjean got a penalty and he didn't deserve one in my opinion. But yeah, closing in on Massa. His options are going off the cliff, so are most of the cars around me, and that gave me the opportunity on the primes, which weren't that worn whatsoever. Gave me the opportunity to get myself up into 3rd place, up the inside of Massa. No risky moves this time like the one on Rosberg. And there we go, move done. We'll be on the options in the final stint, and they'll be on the primes, so that means we've probably overtaken Massa in the grand scheme of things. And now we're coming to our pit stop window. 11 laps to go, time to go on to the option tyres. We're currently in 2nd. Rosberg did come out ahead of us, so that put pay into the 1-stop strategy. And he is absolutely miles ahead, so I think there's no doubt that he's going to win this race and extend his lead in the driver's standings, which is a shame after the great performance in Britain. But we're going to have to try and fight for 2nd place. We come out in 5th, just behind Ricciardo, but obviously we're on the superior tyres. Light fuel load, so the tyres won't wear out as much as well. So this will be like the opportunity to make up some positions. And once the tyres are up to temperature, look at the superior grip. We're going to fly up the inside of Ricciardo, get this move done as we do. Great move there. And now to chase after the 2 Ferraris. It was going to be tricky with 10 laps to go, but I think we've got a realistic chance to get this done. So, we did close on to the back of Raikkonen, who looks like he could be getting held up by NASA, so this gives us a prime opportunity to get a great run out the final corner. He should get DRS, he does actually, so that's going to help him defend. And he's got better straight line speed than us, but of course we're going to go for a classic Hamilton lunge up the inside. And he's going to get stuck behind NASA. We are so lucky he didn't turn in earlier, or there was definite contact there between us and the Sauber. But yet Raikkonen's still stuck behind him, so that's worked out really well in the podium positions. So we've got a definite podium, and on the penultimate lap, we're just all over Vettel, trying to get past, looking for the opportunity to overtake. But at this point it was really tricky. Vettel had a little bit of grip left on his tyres, but he was defending perfectly, and we just couldn't get an opportunity anywhere in sector 1 or 2 on the penultimate lap here. We're getting close, but just not close enough. Though we are getting incredibly close there, as I say that. So can we get a decent run here? No, we can't. We have had our tyres on for about 10 laps now. But surely, if we wait on till the DRS straight, that will be our best opportunity with the aid of DRS. So, let's prepare for the action on the start-finish straight. Or not. Why has Vettel just pitted? That's totally screwed the fans of classic battle on the final lap. I don't know how to explain that. He just chucked a podium away and given us second place. But oh well. Final lap, final sector. We're coming home to finish in second. A pretty uneventful final lap, which is a shame because it could have been so much better. Rosberg's won this. Disappointed, and yeah, we got so close to the barrier there. That could have just cost us everything. But we finished in second. There we go. We seem very happy with that, but in my mind, it's a bit of a shame really, because we're going to lose 7 points on Rosberg. We just need Rosberg to have 1 or 2 bad races, but it just isn't happening at all. And it's a bit frustrating considering we are fighting from the back. And we've won 3 races this season from the back, so should be happy with that. At least we're not finishing down in like 4th or 5th, and the championship battle will go on. And here we go. We're going to look at the standings in a second as we finish the celebrations. Yeah, I hate you, Nico. So there's the finishing result. We finished 16 seconds off the lead. Not too bad, but obviously nowhere near challenging Rosberg. The 2 Ferraris, Vettel ended up in 4th. Why pitted again, I will never know. And then further down, Alonso got points. Wow. McLaren got some more points. That's absolutely amazing. Didn't expect that. Button had a shocker into 18th. Here are the standings, 46 points behind Rosberg. I think the Ferraris look like they won't be involved in the battle, sadly. But hey, there's a long way to go. We'll see what happens. And then further down the field, we can see Perez up there in 12th. He's definitely doing alright now. And only Sainz hasn't got points along with the Manners. Now to look at the constructors, less important, but we still want to win that as well, and we probably will with a 95-point lead. So if you enjoyed that race, please leave a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel for more F1 2015 videos, and I hope to catch you in the next race, and I'll see you there. Goodbye.